Emil, you have both operated and invested in these companies. So you were at Uber before they sort of looked at this space. And let's start right there. I mean, is this going to be another graveyard of VC dollars as, you know, Uber increasingly looks like, as its valuation still remains, you know, below that IPO price?
Yeah, it certainly does, sadly. But I think this might be different. You're going to see what I think in the quick commerce space is a separation very quickly of the wheat from the chaff. So the companies that are getting funded now, including GoPuff, Getir, some of the ones that really have critical mass and have figured out how to do operations very successfully and profitably, they're going to separate from the pack. And you're going to see a bunch of the small ones that are just starting out, like some of the ones you mentioned, some of the ones in Europe, really just blow it. And I think that's what's going to happen. There may be some M&A in between there, but I think you're going to see sort of real bifurcation in 2022 and not too late in 2022 as well.
Emil, when you say that there's some that have managed to do it profitably, I got to ask you, what do you mean by that? Is this pure profits or is it adjusted EBITDA, some other form? I know that that's what ride sharing and food delivery sells investors on. But, you know, is this going to be another industry where we have to make all of these allowances to actually get to that measure?
Yeah, I don't think we should. But what I mean by profitability is that you open a micro warehouse and you acquire customers and you have delivery people and they order goods. And that size of that basket kind of matters to how much profit you're going to make. And if that unit works, but then you're investing and losing money on opening the next micro fulfillment center, that's sort of where the money gets invested as opposed to where it's being made.
So it's adjusted, to be clear. Adjusted EBITDA profitability. We're not talking about profits. I got to be clear here, right, Emil?
Be clear. Fair. It's not income profitability. It's unit economic profitability. It's better way to say it, and it's adjusted.
I'm curious. You mentioned M&A activity. Are these companies? Do you think they're just targets for the bigger players in the space? They're building out new models at lower risk, and eventually they get acquired, or do you think they're going to roll up into each other?
I think the big ones will stay independent. You talk about a GoPuff or a Getir, but if you talk about some of the smaller ones like Joker or Flink or some of these other ones that you see popping up, I think there might be a lot of interest from the Ubers of the world, the delivery heroes of the world, DoorDash, maybe even Instacart, because this notion of having a vertical stack where you own the product, you own the whole experience, and you own the whole margin structure is attractive potentially to some of those big companies that are in and around delivery of food and food-like stuff.
Emil, it's Kayla Tausche. It's good to see you. You mentioned these micro warehouses, which obviously can't stock everything under the sun. And I'm wondering how some of these companies are thinking about managing their inventory and what's giving them the most bang for their buck for these smaller tickets when people are ordering 1 pack of Advil, 1 can of baby formula, or fast forward to me tomorrow at 4 p.m., 1 pack of New Year's Eve kazoos and hats. What are they stocking?
I think there's actually an answer. I think when GoPuff first started out, they probably had 150 SKUs, and now they're about 2,000, and they figured that's about the right number to have someone continually come back, know there's enough of what they want, and order it in bulk. What you're talking about, which is the old Cosmo.com, order one thing and have it be delivered in 15 minutes, they've sort of figured out how to deal with that by charging a monthly membership where each delivery is free and they can make up margin on that. So I'm sure there will be people gaming this system, but right now the focus for GoPuff and all these guys is to get the basket size bigger, which is why you see pizza kitchens, coffee kitchens on the site of the micro warehouse so you can order more in one order.